Hello there, middle class India. You keep saying that there's no option to the Modi regime, that the opposition is not qualified. I'm here to bust that myth with some hard facts. Let's start with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's educational qualifications. He has claimed that he has a BA in political science from the School of Open Learning, Delhi University in 1978. And an MA in political science from Gujarat University in 1983 as external distance learning. Let's first see how this compares with the qualifications of foreign heads of state in our neighborhood. Sri Lanka, PM Dinesh Gunawardene. He's a Bachelor of Business Administration from the University of Oregon. Pakistan, PM Shehbaz Sharif. He is a BA from the Government College University of Lahore. And since BJP fans are obsessed with Pakistan, let's look at the qualifications of the former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan. He's a PPE. That's a BA from Keble College, Oxford University. Keble College is one of the most competitive colleges to get into at Oxford University. Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina. She's a BA from Dhaka University in 1973. Bhutan, His Royal Highness Jigme Khesar Namgyal Wangchuk. He's from Wheaton College, Massachusetts. Nepal, Prime Minister Ramchandra Podel. MA Nepali Literature from Tribhuvan University. China. You're all obsessed with China. You keep saying that India has to compete with China. Well, how are we going to do it if our leaders don't have anything near comparable education qualifications? Xi Jinping is a doctor in law from Tsinghua University in Beijing. Maldives, the Prime Minister Mohammad Muizzu, who supporters of the regime keep attacking. He's a master's in structural engineering from the University of London and a PhD in civil engineering from the University of Leeds. The only head of state in our neighborhood with lesser educational qualifications than our Prime Minister is Mullah Hibatullah Akhundzada of Afghanistan. On the subject of China, you need to understand the kind of educational culture that they have developed. The Politburo Standing Committee is possibly the senior-most organ of the Chinese Communist Party of the CCP. Besides Xi Jinping, whose qualifications I already told you about, the latest 20th Politburo Standing Committee has Chai Ki, who has a doctoral degree in political economics from Fujian University. Wan Huning, who's chairman of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. So he's part of the political sort of establishment over there, not just a consultant from the outside. He's a Master of Law from Fudan University. Ding Zhuizhuang has an engineering degree from Yanshan University. The previous Politburo Standing Committee, and I have more information about that because I came across an article on the 19th Politburo Standing Committee. The 20th one was appointed sometime in October 2022, I believe. Had Li Keqiang at the helm of economic planning. He was a PhD in economics from Peking University. Liu He, China's economic czar at the time under the 19th Politburo, was a master's in public administration from Harvard University, 1995. The Politburo Standing Committee also had a leading diplomat, Yang Jiechi. He was an MA in economics from the LSE. Liu He was also known as China's economic czar. And you can read about this in an article in the print, which is called China's Top 2 Leaders Have Doctoral Degrees in CCP Education Also Decides Political Power. There's another article in The Economist from 2023, which talks about how many of China's top politicians were educated in the West. Now, let's compare the educational qualifications of the top leaders of our Indian opposition parties with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's. Arvind Kejriwal of the Aam Aadmi Party is from IIT Kharagpur. Mallikarjun Kharge of the Indian National Congress has a law degree from Gulbarga. The DMK's head, M.K. Stalin, is a history graduate from Presidency College, Madras University. Uddhav Thackeray of the Shiv Sena is a graduate of the Sir J.J. Institute of Applied Art. Akhilesh Yadav of the Samajwadi Party is a master's from the University of Sydney, Australia. Mamata Banerjee of the All India Trinamool Congress has a law degree and an MA from the University of Calcutta. Now let's take a look at the qualifications of BJP ministers in the cabinet and ministers of state, and then compare that with the qualifications of leaders and office bearers in the opposition parties. So I was able to find the educational qualifications mostly using My Neta and the Election Commission's portal for 46 BJP office bearers. Out of them, there were three with foreign degrees. These were Jyotiraditya Scindia, ex-Congress Party, Doon School, St. Stephen's, Harvard. The Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw, who went to IIT Kanpur and also has a degree from the University of Pennsylvania. And the third is Rajiv Chandrasekhar, Minister of State. He has a computer science master's from the Illinois Institute of Technology, Chicago. These compare, if you look at the qualifications of the opposition party leaders and office bearers, out of 28 Congress leaders, 11 have foreign degrees from universities that are much higher ranked to the three foreign degree holders, except for Jyotiraditya Scindia's, in the BJP list. Harvard, Carnegie Mellon, Cambridge, Oxford, University of California, Berkeley, and so on. The Aam Aadmi Party has two Oxford graduates. The second one also has a degree from MIT. And I also looked at three Trinamool Congress leaders. All three have degrees from Oxford University, Cambridge University, Mount Holyoke. They are scholarship holders. I'll give you the details later, but this is the comparison between if you look at 46 of the BJP ministers' qualifications, 3 have foreign degrees, of which one, Jyotiraditya Scindia, is someone who recently transferred from the Congress party. And of the 42 that I looked at from the opposite, and I haven't looked at the South Indian parties at all, and I haven't looked at the communist parties and the socialist left parties at all, because the standard of education in the South is higher across the board in any case, and so I'm not making that comparison, and it possibly explains the difficulty that this regime is finding in getting support from the South. And I also, with apologies to all comrades, I left the communists out only because the Indian middle class refuses to, completely rejects communists whole hog without understanding really how, communist leaders function in India as the conscience keepers, and they are highly educated. So I'm just keeping that out because I'm trying to persuade my contemporaries in the Indian middle class and upper classes and elites to open their minds about this fixed idea they've got that the BJP regime is qualified, whereas the opposition is not, whereas the truth is absolutely the reverse. So, out of the 42 candidates that the leaders that I analyzed from opposition parties, 16 had foreign degrees, 10 had top Indian degrees, and the remaining 16 of the 42 had degrees from top Indian second tier institutions. Not a single one of them was of below university level, whereas there were 4 such in the BJP ministers, including the top 2 officials of the country, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah, whose affidavit with the Election Commission says that he's 12th pass SYBSC Gujarat University, although Wikipedia says that he has a BSc in Biochemistry from CU Shah Science College. The other 2 with less education are Smriti Irani, who seems to have only completed school, and she's a cabinet minister, and another cabinet minister for micro, small and medium enterprises, Mr. Narayan Taturane, who is an 11th class dropout. So the standards among the 42 of the opposition leaders never go down to that level, whereas you have 4 of them among the BJP. Yes, I should also add that I said that there were 3 foreign qualified persons among the 46 BJP that I analyzed. There's 1 more from the Philippines who has a degree and MBA from the Philippines. I put that separately because I've never heard of the Philippines as comparing to Pennsylvania or Harvard. Out of these 46, 11 came from known Indian institutions, 2 from JNU, Nirmala Sitharaman and Dr. Jaishankar. Nirmala Sitharaman has been a very lackluster finance minister. We have 1 from St. Stephen's College, a cabinet minister, Mr. Rajkumar Singh. We have Union Development Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, who went to Hindu College. Then we have educated, 8 quite well-educated BJP members who are either out of favor or have been dropped from ministerial positions, and this seems to indicate a pattern in the way they are treated by the regime, which is basically Narendra Modi. He has made it about himself. His slogan in this election is also Modi ki guarantee. So it is significant that he seems to have a low level of tolerance for highly educated members, of his party. For instance, Nitin Gadkari is widely rumored to be very much out of favor with him. He is one of the 8 who are relatively well educated. He has a BCom and an LLB from Nagpur University. Then there was Kiran Rijiju, who has an LLB from Delhi Law Faculty and a BA from Hansraj College, ex-Congress party. But he was removed from his post. Then there was Ravi Shankar Prasad, who has an LLB from Patna University, but he was removed from his post. It was said that he was arrogant. This is what the other side claimed, not the opposition. Prakash Javadekar was removed at the same time as Ravi Shankar Prasad, and he is a BCom from Pune University. Dr. Harshvardhan, a very well-known doctor and a 5-time MLA and 2-time MP from Chandni Chowk, was suddenly dropped just recently in the Lok Sabha candidate announcements of the BJP from Delhi. The same was done to Meenakshi Lekhi, who is from Hindu College and also Delhi Law Faculty. Rajiv Pratap Rudi, who has a degree from Punjab University, was removed as a minister after the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana flopped under him. I don't know if that Yojana did so well after he was removed, or whether he was responsible for this, because unemployment is an issue in this election and is said to be very high. Rajiv Pratap Rudi is listed as a spokesperson. Our former Chief of Army Chief General V.K. Singh, who twice won his seat in Ghaziabad and also holds Minister of State level posts in the government, was dropped from his seat in Ghaziabad, and instead his seat was given to a gentleman who is only 12th class pass, from what I can make out. We then have some people in the Niti Aayog. There's Rao Inderjeet Singh, a Minister of State rank, who has an LLB and also went to Hindu College. But I don't see, Niti Aayog is really supposed to be like an economic planning think tank, and I have a law degree. I'm not sure I'd feel that confident on an economic planning panel. There's a scientist, Vijay Kumar Saraswat, who's also the Chancellor of JNU. There's a PhD, Professor Ramesh Chand in Agricultural Economics from the Indian Agricultural Research Institute on the Niti Aayog, but I'm afraid the government's plans for agriculture have been stalled. Farmers have been protesting now since almost the start of this particular term of Modi's term against the proposals that he's made, and there's seems to have been absolutely no headway, which is not something that which is a political problem that a PhD Professor Ramesh Chand, no matter how qualified, is not in a position to resolve. And then there's a pediatrician called Vinod Paul on the Niti Aayog. There are also some other technocrats at the BJP consults who are quite highly qualified, but they've left. Amitabh Kant left. Arvind Panagria left, and then he's come. He had disagreements with the RSS. It was reported. He's come back recently as head of the 16th Finance Commission, but there does not appear to be any resolution of the political objections that the RSS and other members of the Niti Aayog had to his proposals. So that sort of seems stuck where it is. There's Arvind Virmani, who went to St. Stephen's College and Harvard, well qualified, but he also worked for the UPA. So don't vote for Modi only because you want Arvind Virmani there. He'd probably be happy to work if the opposition were to come to power as well. That leaves us with Suman Berry, Doon School, Oxford, Princeton, very well qualified, and we can only hope that he's able to carry the full burden of government on his very capable shoulders, because there are almost no one with the same qualifications available to this regime. So, I mean, you can look all this up. And you have to start questioning middle class and upper class India that keep on saying there's no option and the opposition is not qualified. And I mean, look at this. It's the regime that is not qualified and has virtually no talent pool to draw from. We can go through it. There's Rajnath Singh states that he has a physics degree from Gorakhpur University. Mr. Arjun Munda, who has now been whose MOS for agriculture, is a Ranchi University graduate. Piyush Goyal, he's a CA and a law degree holder from Mumbai University, one of the few educateds who've not fallen out of favor with the regime so far. He's also been fielded for the Lok Sabha from Maharashtra. So, maybe he and Suman Berry can get together and give all the, that this government needs so far as qualification is concerned. You have the Minister of State for Skill Development, is an anthropologist from Utkal University, Bhubaneswar. Mr. Prahlad Joshi is a BA holder from Karnataka University. The MOS with independent charge of ports is Sarbananda Sonowal with an LLB from Dibrugarh and a BCJ from Guwahati University. The Cabinet Minister for Social Justice, Mr. Virendra Kumar, has a PhD in child labor from Dr. Harsing Gaur University, Madhya Pradesh. The Minister of Rural Development, Mr. Giriraj Singh, is a graduate of Magad University. The Jal Shakti Mission is headed by Mr. Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, who is a master's from Jai Narayan Vyas University, Jodhpur. I did not have the time, because there's a lot of data, to see where these universities like Jai Narayan Vyas University, Jodhpur, and Utkal University, Bhubaneswar stand in the rankings. And I invite you to do that, since you, middle class India, keep claiming that the opposition is not qualified. I think that, you need to back up this claim by looking at the evidence. Please tell me if these universities rank very high in South Asia, in India, or even within the states. We have Mr. Mansukh Mandavia, who has reported that he has a PhD in political science received in 2021 from the Gujarat Institute of Development Research. He also has after he completed his higher secondary, he did a certificate course in veterinary livestock inspection at Songar Gurukul and Gujarat Agriculture University, and he has an MA in political science from Bhavnagar University. Please make note of all these universities, and please look up their rankings. Mr. Bhupendra Yadav, Cabinet Minister, is an LLB from Government College, Ajmer. Dr. Mahendra Nath Pandey, he's a PhD in Hindi. Always nice to have someone from Sahitya, a literary person in politics. But he's been given a very unpoetic charge. He's Minister for Heavy Industries. Minister of State Purushottam Rupala, he has been a school principal, and he has a BSc and B.Ed from Saurashtra University and Gujarat University. G. Kishan Reddy has a diploma in tool design from the Central Institute of Tool Design, Telangana. I really don't know how this institute compares with the IITs. It would be interesting if one of you listening to this could enlighten me. Mr. Anurag Thakur, Minister for Information and Broadcasting, has a BA degree from Doaba College, Jalandhar, Punjab. Mr. Nityanand Rai, Minister of State for Home Affairs, is a graduate of the Raj Narayan College, Hajipur, Vaishali. Mr. Shripad Naik, MOS Ports, has BAs from Bombay and Goa University. Both have a lot of ports, so I'm sure that came in useful. The MOS for Heavy Industries, Krishan Pal Gurjar, has a law degree from Meerut University. Mr. Jitendra Singh is a doctor. He is also Minister of State, and he has studied in Chennai and Jammu. Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar is a graduate of Jivaji University, but he was removed as Agriculture Minister in December 2023. Mr. Arjun Ram Meghawal is an LLB and MBA from Dungar College, Bikaner, and his MBA is from the University of Philippines. The Minister of State for Social Justice, Ms. Pratima Bhaumik, is a science graduate, one of the most highly qualified of all her colleagues from among BJP ministerial post holders. However, she seems to have a bit of a problem with social justice, because she has been complaining that the old guard in the Tripura BJP is refusing to concede place to the young and dynamic ones, and just want to feed off their privilege. So not much social justice and empowerment for her there, unfortunately. But good luck to her. It's good to have one scientist among all the 46 that I looked at over here. Rao Inderjeet Singh, we already spoke of. Yes, so that brings us to the end of the qualifications of ministers in the Modi regime. And let's compare this with the qualifications of the opposition party leaders and office bearers. Rahul Gandhi, who all of you are up in arms about how he's not qualified, well, he's an MPhil in Development Studies from Cambridge University. Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, you know very well, he's a well-known lawyer, one of India's best lawyers, most highly paid lawyers. Gaurav Gogoi is a Master of Public Administration from New York University. These are all members of the Congress Working Committee, the apex body of the Congress Party. Jairam Ramesh is from IIT Bombay and also Carnegie Mellon University. Kumari Selja is a master's from Punjab University. Mr. P. Chidambaram is probably the most brilliant lawyer of his generation, and he's from Presidency College, Madras Law College, and Harvard Business School. Randeep Surjewala is an LLB from Punjab University. Sachin Pilot was at St. Stephen's and Wharton Business School. Salman Khurshid was at St. Stephen's and Oxford University. Shashi Tharoor was at St. Stephen's and has a PhD from Tufts. Karthi Chidambaram, Cambridge University. Bijender Singh is one quite educated, very highly educated from the compared with his colleagues in the BJP, but he's left the BJP and come to the Congress. He was at St. Stephen's College, JNU, and has a Master's in Science from King's College, London. Mr. Rajiv Gowda, who's been fielded as a Lok Sabha candidate from Bangalore, has a PhD in Public Policy and Management from Wharton University of Pennsylvania. He was also postdoctoral fellow in Law and Economics at the University of Berkeley, California. Supriya Srinath, who all of you see as spokesperson, our very feisty Congress spokesperson, is an MA in History from Delhi University. Kanhaiya Kumar, the well-known Kanhaiya Kumar, probably the best speaker, public speaker that the Congress Party has at the moment, is a PhD from JNU. Mr. Sandeep Dikshit from St. Stephen's and is currently a faculty member at the Jindal Global University. Mr. Jay Prakash Agarwal has a BA Hansraj College from Delhi University. Alka Lamba is a BSc from Dayal Singh College, Delhi University. Mr. Ashok Gehlot is a law graduate and MA Economics degree holder from Jodhpur University. Mr. Rajiv Shukla, a well-known journalist, MA and LLB from Kanpur University. Mr. Imran Pratap Garhi, MA from Allahabad University. Dipender Huda, DPS Arkipuram, and an MBA from Indiana University and also an LLB from Delhi Law Faculty. Pradeep Jain Aditya is an advocate and a Masters of Commerce from Bundelkhand University. Mr. Akhilesh Pratap Singh is an MA from the University of Allahabad and also interestingly captained his university basketball team and represented his university at the nationals as well as state level. Mr. Nadeem Javed, MA Purvanchal University. Mr. Dheeraj Gurjar, BCom Ajmer University. Tauqir Alam is an MPhil from JNU. In general, I've noticed that Muslim candidates are very highly qualified, and women candidates tend to be more qualified than their colleagues from the same party, and reserved seat SC candidates tend to be far more qualified than most of their colleagues as well. So you can see who's working hard. Mr. K.C. Venugopal is an Master's in MSc of Mathematics from the University of Calicut, and I'm including here two very worthy gentlemen who are not in the Congress Party, but part of the same. They're definitely, not with the regime and part of the ecosystem that is trying to raise awareness about what is going on in the country today. Mr. Yogendra Yadav has an MA from JNU and an MPhil from Punjab University, and Mr. Kapil Sibal, again one of India's best known lawyers. Aam Aadmi Party, extraordinarily highly educated lineup of leaders. Atishi was at St. Stephen's and Oxford University. Somnath Bharti has an LLB and is also from IIT. Mr. Sanjay Singh is a mechanical engineer. Raghav Chadda is a chartered accountant. Dr. Sandeep Pathak went to IIT Delhi, Oxford University and MIT. Mr. Durgesh Pathak has an MA from Allahabad University. Imran Hussain has a business studies degree from Jamia Millia. Preeti Sharma is from Mumbai University. Saurabh Bharadwaj has an LLB from Osmania University and also a computer science graduate degree from Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University. two very well-known faces from the Trinamool Congress, Moua Moitro. She's a maths and economics graduate from Mount Holyoke. Sagarika Ghosh from St. Stephen's College and a Rhodes Scholar from Oxford University. Jawahar Sirkar is an academic and has been at the universities of Calcutta, Cambridge and Sussex. So like I said, out of 42 here, 16 have foreign degrees, 10 from top Indian universities and 16 from very credible next level Indian universities. And compare that with the 46 that we saw from among the BJP talent pool. 4 foreign degrees, including 1 from the Philippines, 9 from good universities, 4 did not even make it to university, and the rest, some who were educated have been removed, and play no active role. In fact, I mean, it's not necessary that you have to be highly educated to be a good leader. I don't believe in that. Very highly educated people invented some pretty awful things, including ways of governance like fascism. So, but I mean, if you don't have the education, then you have to have the wisdom. And one of the things by which you judge a person's wisdom is their ability to listen to people who are qualified in the areas on which they have to make decisions. And, I mean, the way in which Narendra Modi has this pattern of just removing people who are educated is worrying. Who is he consulting? I mean, if the people that he is consulting do not have a political role, if they're just technocrats and consultants from outside, that's very worrying, because they don't have the clout, and they also don't have the connect with the people. This whole process works with discussion, with other politicians. That's why we have a full House of Parliament. We don't only have one elected leader. We have more than 500 of them, and there's a reason for that. I mean, the reason to cross 400, which is what the BJP has set out to do this time, is so that you can have that level of representation and endorsement from the people of India. It's not just a number, so that one person can make up his mind to do whatever he wants, and based on what? And for any one person to say that they are going to be the head of government of 1.4 billion people, I believe that's about 20% of the world's population, and say that they're just going to do that on their own guarantee. What does that even mean? How is that even a valid way of looking at this job? And I mean, at this point, after you compare the resource, the qualification and the resources that the BJP has to draw from, the Modi regime has available to it to draw from, and you compare it with the opposition parties, I mean, all the talent is ranged in the opposition. And there must be some reason why, so many educated people are coming out and warning us that what is happening today with the Modi regime is extremely dangerous. Because they are closest to it. They're closest to see how he works. And they're also much closer to the people than all of you middle class people sitting in your drawing rooms and just cursing the Gandhis all the time. I mean, even I wasn't aware of this. The amount of talent that's on the other side, because one gets taken in and hypnotized by the constant message that keeps coming that there's just a bunch of clowns in the opposition, and that the only person competent enough to even aspire to be Prime Minister of India is Narendra Modi. And then you look at his qualifications, and you look at his cabinet, and you look at his ministers of state, and then let's spread the net wider. Okay, because let's look at all the other BJP office bearers and leaders. I was able to find, the educational data. I looked at 37 of them. They are the most visible. Of these 37, not even one has a foreign degree. Not one. And I mean, You're the ones who keep talking about China. China seems to be very interested on training itself, in the top universities of the world, which at the moment all happen to be in the West. And you could have a different system where you decide that you don't want to follow the formal Western system of education, and you want to do it in a different way. But I don't see that happening either. I don't see, a real attempt to they keep the regime talks about Indic knowledge systems and civilizational. I don't see a real attempt to incorporate that in the attitude of the government or in any of its approaches at all. A time to have tested that would have been the COVID pandemic, where we just followed the instructions of the WHO. There was nothing Indic. We just followed the formula, the format which was given to us. So you have a lot of talk about how we are going to do things differently, but on the ground, what you have is doing things exactly the same, excepting with people who have far less qualification and understanding and exposure to the world, to the system that they are supposed to be running. And you could say that, and this happens in every country. You could say that, people who are educated at these top institutions, they are all elites and they are out of touch. And that may be true. And they are privileged and it's all a club. I agree. To some extent that certainly happens. It happens everywhere, by the way. This is not just unique to India. But the argument that, getting qualified has become a closed club. And that entry into positions of office and power has to be much fairer is a different question from whether you need to be qualified to do the jobs that are before you. And if you are not qualified, which is understandable in a country like India, I'm absolutely not in favor of having any mandatory educational requirements, because democracy is also about representation, and you can't just effectively disenfranchise people by insisting on, expensive and, very, very hard to obtain a merit-based system. I don't agree with that at all. But then there has to be a willingness to listen to the people who do have the qualifications before you take your decisions. But if you're going to be systemically throwing out people who have qualifications, then what are you listening to? That's what's not happening. And you can't address the problem of higher education and top, education being elitist and closed off by saying, okay, in that case, we're just going to function with very poor or no educational qualifications at all. That's not how the answer to elitism is not just having very uneducated and poorly qualified people running a country of 1.4 billion people. Honestly, middle class India, you're so proud of your degrees. You're so proud of being professionals. You keep asking why, somebody, how is someone qualified? They're not competent. They have to prove to themselves. And you're just looking at opposition leaders, mostly Rahul Gandhi. What about the regime? What about your prime minister? How have you persuaded yourself that the people in the regime are at all qualified? Have you ever bothered to see what their qualifications are and compared them to opposition leaders' qualifications? What's going on? You know what? You can't allow your bitterness and your anger, which, it may be legitimate. If it's felt so strongly, then there must be something real to it. But you can't allow that to blind you. That doesn't mean that you don't have the Congress party. That doesn't mean that the constitution is negotiable. You don't want to have the Congress party or anyone else, from the opposition. You don't believe in them. But that doesn't mean that it's okay for states to just deteriorate into anarchy in the way that they did in Manipur. And it's still going on. And why is there this complete refusal to speak to people? The thing about, the thing about democracy is that it's also conversation. It's a process. So even if people who don't agree with you don't get their way, at least they feel that they have some say in the system. That's the whole thing about democracy as opposed to dictatorship. And so, why wasn't Sonam Wangchuk in Ladakh heeded? Why were the farmers left to protest for? I read somewhere that that's the longest protest that has ever happened. 1 year out there on the road. It's just crazy. I mean, you can't allow whatever you're not happy with it can't have this disproportionate effect on your assessment of what is happening to the country. We can't just throw everything. We can't just throw our republic away for this. There has to be a different way. Okay, so let's look at, these other BJP office bearers and so on. The first two who are also in the national executive are Mr. L.K. Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi, both educated, but they've been ousted. And as I said, of all of these people, I'm looking at 37 over here. There's nobody who's qualified with a foreign degree, and there are only 2 which have degrees from Delhi University. Mr. Vishal Jolly, who's a BCom from SRCC, and Mr. Anil Baluni, he's a candidate from Garhwal, by the way, and he's a BCom from Delhi University. Okay. Then we have these Swamis and Maharajas. We have Satpal Maharaj, who describes himself as an Indian spiritual guru turned politician. And then, you see lists in the papers as well as even organizations like the Association for Democratic Reform. They have lists of, these are the number of graduates from XYZ party, okay? And so you can see, okay, all right, okay, so, 10% graduates or 20% graduates, oh great, okay, but hang on. Look at where these graduate degrees are from. Because there's a difference between being a graduate from St. Stephen's College or Hindu, if that riles you, from Hindu College or Mumbai University or not, and from being, for example, from Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University 1992 and Bhilai Mahila Mahavidyalaya 1993. This is Sushri Saroj Pandey of the BJP National Executive. Mr. J.P. Nadda, the president of the BJP, he has a BA from Patna University and an LLB from Himachal Pradesh University. Mr. Madan Kaushik has a BSc from Gurukul Kanyadi University in 1986. Mr. Ajay Chandrakar states that he enrolled at SBR College Durga Mahavidyalaya Raipur. Mr. Manoj Tiwari is an MPhil from BHU, but I mean, he's been on Big Boss, and he's a very famous Bhojpuri cinema actor. These are wonderful qualities, but I really don't know how they point to great competence so far as governing a country is concerned. Then we have an IT officer, Sunita Duggal from Sirsa, Haryana. We have the National General Secretary, Mr. Vinod Tande, is a higher secondary school certificate holder. We have Captain Amrinder Singh, who's merged with the BJP. He went to some good institutions, but I really don't know how much say he has in governing the country. Then there is a gentleman called Dr. Vinay Chutewale, who is a scientist, but I don't see any scientific work. He has co-authored 2 books, one on Hindutva and another on Narendra Modi's foreign policy. Sudhanshu Trivedi, of course, you know well. I mean, he's educated, PhD from APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. Then there are all the spokesperson, Gaurav Bhatia, who's a lawyer, Tom Vadakan, ex-Congress party. There's a lady, Miss Sanju Verma, who's an MBA in finance from the Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar, Mr. Raghavendra Singh Rathore, Shazia Ilmi. So, I mean, I haven't looked up their educational qualifications. They are well-known spokespeople, and I don't deny that they are educated, but, I mean, would you want the country to be resting on the shoulders just of these people? It's not very convincing to me. Then we have, Mr. Tejasvi Surya, whose statements are well known. I didn't bother looking up his educational qualifications because sometimes it doesn't matter how educated you are. Then there's Mr. Yogi Adityanath, who is also another one of our acharyas. He states that he has a Bachelor of Maths from Hemwati Nandan, Bahuguna Garhwal University in Uttaranchal. Then there's Mr. N. Biren Singh of Manipur, which is in a complete mess. Hemant Biswa Sharma, ex-Congress. He's a lawyer and PhD in political science from Guwahati University. Sushri Uma Bharti, another one of our Swaminis. Then Mr. Sambit Patra, yes, he's a doctor. Amit Malviya. Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, he's a lawyer from Nagpur University. Then Mr. Taranjeet Singh Sandhu of the IFS, who's, I think, our ambassador from the US, who has recently retired and joined the BJP. I mean, okay, then here are the other graduates from the BJP. There's Ajay Bhatt, who's the candidate from Nainital. He's LLB, Almora, Kumaon University. Mr. Ajay Tamta, Almora candidate, Swami Vivekanand, Shubh Bharti University. Mr. Anil Baluni, he's the Garhwal candidate, BCom from DU. Ashish Dubey, Jabalpur candidate, Bachelor of Law and Legislature from Rani Durgavati University, Jabalpur. Bunty Vivek Sahu, Chhindwara MP, who's a BCom from Postgraduate College, Chhindwara. I think he will face Mr. Nakul Nath, Kamal Nath's son. I mean, but Kamal Nath's son, maybe Kamal Nath's son, but he's also, he's educated abroad and in good institutions, and he's facing someone with a Bachelor of Law and Legislature from Rani Durgavati University, Jabalpur. Bunty, from Postgraduate College, Chhindwara. Devendra Jhajaria of Churu, Rajasthan. He's a candidate from Churu, Rajasthan, and he's got a BA from the Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati University. So, I mean, the reason why I've taken the time to take you through all of this is that, when they say that, there are X number of graduates among the BJP Lok Sabha candidates, well, this is where they are graduating from. You need to know this. And, when you say that your vote for Modi and for the BJP is because of qualifications and competence, I just don't see how you can square that with when these are the kinds of qualifications and this is the level of competence. And I urge you, middle class India, since, I mean, it's a very high price. Freedom, our constitution, the harmonious, social fabric between, the majority and all the minority communities, that is a very, very high price to pay for anything. So, I would like you to ask yourselves whether you're getting what you're paying for in these qualifications, because you keep telling me it's about qualifications and I'm not able to see any. Right. After this, I'm going to do another video on comparing the qualifications of the Samajwadi Party candidates from UP and the BJP candidates. Very interesting picture emerges, which completely turns on its head, 180-degree turn, this impression that qualification and competence is on the side of the BJP, whereas the opposition are incompetent and clowns. Okay, so please see that also. But before I close this video, I want to talk to you a bit about what happened in Delhi. Because we discussed how from the cabinet of ministers, over the years, people who were educated there was just a pattern of removing them. And you saw a repeat of that even in the tickets which were given for the Delhi Lok Sabha seats. For example, you had from Chandni Chowk, Mr. Praveen Khandelwal, who is he's an LLB from Delhi Law Faculty. He was given a ticket. He replaced Dr. Harshvardhan, well-known face for handling the COVID crisis, 5-time MLA and 2-time MP from there, just summarily removed. What was the reason to replace him? Because it's good to have an LLB from Delhi Law Faculty, but Dr. Harshvardhan is far more qualified, both in terms of his political experience in Chandni Chowk as well as in his educational qualifications. What could be the reason for removing him other than that? You don't want to have people in the BJP who have a standing of their own. Okay, then Mr. Mr. Manoj Tiwari was retained, from Northeast Delhi. As I said, he's a big boss actor and a Bhojpuri film actor. I mean, we always have these film actor candidates, but, how serious? I mean, those are just easy wins, right? I mean, you can't make a competence argument and a qualification argument based on them. And things in Northeast Delhi were pretty bad, if you remember, just a few years ago with riots. Then there has been, Mr. Harsh Malhotra, who is a BSc from Hansraj College. He's replaced the well-known sportsman Gautam Gambhir. Then in New Delhi, you had, Basuri Swaraj, replacing two-time winner Meenakshi Lekhi. And, let's look at Basuri Swaraj's qualification. So I read a newspaper report which breezily described her as Oxford grad. And so I looked it up. She is what is called a Master of Studies from Oxford. What is this Master of Studies? Because I hear of, Master of Arts and Master of Sciences. What is a Master of Studies? This is what the Oxford website says. Oxford's Department for Continuing Education offers part-time Master of Studies programs in the following disciplines: creative writing, historical studies, history of design, literature and arts, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, practical ethics and psychodynamic practice. They also have an MSc in diplomatic studies, but it says that you need to be a diplomat for this, and it's not even necessary for you to be on campus in order to do these MSc programs. Okay. What else? Basuri Swaraj has a law degree from BPP Law School in London, Holborn. I only know of Holborn as a stop in the metro, in the subway when I used to study in England and occasionally went to London. And what's really interesting is that, like, when you put BPP Law School, a prompt comes, is BPP Law School good? So I'm just going to repeat you the answer which the internet gives. This is a open quote good opportunity to hone legal skills and learn more about new areas of the law, close quote, as per one student there. Overall, BPP has remained a very reliable provider of postgraduate law courses with a general reputation of offering its students good preparation for entering the world of legal practice. So that's the BPP. And then before that, Basuri Swaraj has an English honours degree from the University of Warwick. And this is really interesting. I mean, Sushma Swaraj was quite brilliant. She was multilingual. I think, she could speak Hindi, of course, but Urdu and Punjabi and French. And, she was, a very warm person and a very brilliant, in her way, she was a brilliant person. She took a really strong stand on children being taken away abroad from their parents by these very racist and brutal child welfare agencies, which I really appreciated. Things seem to be quite different. I can't imagine why, why would you want to study English? It's funny that you're studying Shakespeare and hosts of Golden Daffodils, while your party and the whole ideological position is that this is all Western and we have to be Indian. And, I don't get this dissonance. Anyway, so she replaces, like I said, Meenakshi Lekhi, who's, consistently won from this seat, and she's a Bachelor of Sciences from Hindu College, and also has her LLB from Delhi Law Faculty. So very, very solid academic qualifications, a good orator. What is going on here? Other than that, it seems that the establishment within the BJP is just not comfortable having competent and educated people stay in position. And so the opposition to Basuri Swaraj, her opponent is the Aam Aadmi Party candidate Somnath Bharti. He has a very good experience as Minister of State for Law, Tourism and Art and Culture. He's an IIT Delhi graduate as well as an LLB from the Delhi Law Faculty. Another surprise, West Delhi has Miss Kamaljeet Sehrawat. She replaced two-time winner Mr. Parvesh Verma. And she's a Master of Commerce from Himachal Pradesh University. Mr. Parvesh Verma is from Delhi University, and he has also has an MBA from the Four School of Management, Delhi. And Kamaljeet Sehrawat herself said that she was really surprised when her candidature was announced. So you're just emptying the BJP of people with, qualifications and standing. What is the intention? This is something that you, middle class India, you have to think about. From South Delhi, Ramesh Bidhuri, who, the way he's the one who abused Danish Ali in Parliament it was difficult to even listen. He's been replaced by someone called Ramveer Singh Bidhuri, who apparently is no relation. And I don't understand what's going on. The names are so similar. I don't even know if voters would know that it's someone else. If you're trying to signal that you're punishing someone, and he, Ramesh Bidhuri, so far as I could make out, remains on the national executive of the BJP. So what's going on here? And the Congress party has not yet announced its candidates from Delhi, but people who are being spoken of as possibilities: Sandeep Dikshit, St. Stephen's College, and he's on the faculty of Jindal Global University; Arvinder Singh Lovely, who's a political science graduate from Khalsa College; and the well-known Kanhaiya Kumar, who's a PhD from JNU. So, what do you mean when you say that there's no competence in the opposition? In fact, there's no competence in the regime and in the candidates that the BJP is putting out for this election in Delhi. People of Delhi. Okay, so that's what I have to tell you on this. I'm now going to do my other video on the candidates for the UP Lok Sabha. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.